Dear students, we are going to learn more about stars and constellation. Very simple topic when we are talking about the solar system, or you can say the space. Let's see what do we understand by stars. When we are talking about stars, the first thing that comes in our mind is that they are very little. But in reality, they are bigger in size. Actually, they are bigger than our Earth. Almost every star is larger than our Earth, the planet. And they appear very small just because they are very, very far away from the Earth. And just because the distance to measure any two celestial body can't be done in kilometers, there is a special unit of length for measuring distances in space, which we call it by the name light year. So when I say that the distance between two celestial body is, suppose for example 2 light years, it means I am saying that 1 light year refers to the distance that light travels in a year at the speed of 3 lakh kilometer per second. So 2 light years means the light when it will travel for 2 years with the speed of 3 lakh kilometer per second. There are millions of stars in the sky. Let us see now more about the stars. They are made up of hot burning gases. They are self-luminous body. They have their own light. Anything which is hot, which is burning, by default it will be having some light. So stars are having their own light. We don't see it just because of the reflection of the sun, because they are having their own light and heat. So they radiate that heat and light in the atmosphere, and we are able to see the light that they are radiating through the different layers which reach to our eyes on the earth. The last one is that stars appear like they are moving in east to west direction. That is an apparent movement. That is, in reality, they may not be moving. The reality is that our earth is revolving, isn't it? So our earth is revolving and our earth is rotating also. Now we say that the sun, which is the brightest star, and it is the star which is closest to the earth. So the sun is also an example of a star because it has its own light and heat energy. Now let's move ahead. We are saying that the stars twinkle in the night sky. Is it really so? So, what do you think? We are saying that the light travels in a straight line. The light travels with a speed of around 3 lakh kilometer per second. So, how can we can see the same stars with different, you can say, the directions, or maybe it appears like blinking, because if it is blinking, then how can we say that the light travels in a straight line? So are various rays coming to our eyes at the same time? So what is the reason behind the twinkling of the stars, or are they actually not twinkling? Let's see. We are saying again the answer for this part, that the stars are twinkling or not. For that we have to understand a very important topic of physics, that is refraction of light. We now from this diagram you can see the spearman. He is trying to hit the fish which is inside that water body. You can see that the yellow fish is actually the real fish in this water body. But when that person looks from above, it appears that fish appears at the upper part. That is, the white fish is what he is able to see, but that is not the real fish. The real fish is the yellow one, but he is able to look it at the upper side. That is the apparent image of the fish that he is able to make up. That is happening because of the refraction of light. So when light travels from one medium, from a less denser or maybe more denser medium to another range of medium, the light doesn't move in a straight direction. It little bit it changes its path. So we say that there is a refraction of light. As you can see from this animation, that if the light travels in a straight direction, then this would have been the you can say the point where the person should be in order to look at that yellow fish, the real fish, where it is. So this would have been the direction of the light if the light would not have been refracted. But in reality, we are saying that the light coming from the water body is getting changed, the direction is changed, and it is coming to the eyes of that person in the way which I have drawn this yellow line, which is showing that the person will feel that just because we know that the light travels in a straight line, so that person will feel that the position of the fish is where we are able to see the white fish, which is actually not the real position. So when he will try to hit that fish, assuming that the position is at the yellow one, the white one, then he will fail to hit that fish. So generally, all these people who try to hit the fish are trained to hit the fish little bit at the downside, because they understand that the real image is not reflected, the real image is not seen by our eyes, it is the apparent image or the virtual image that we are able to see. So that is the reason why the stars are also appearing like twinkling, because when the light from the stars start coming, they have to pass through various layers of atmosphere. We have read that there are 5 layers of atmosphere, and the outermost is the least denser one. So when the light travels from the least denser to a more denser and to the most denser, that is troposphere, the light direction little bit it changes with every change in the layer which it passes through. So by the time it reaches our eyes, they are actually not from their real position. So that is the reason why it appears like the stars actually twinkle. Okay, now moving ahead, this is how what I am trying to explain, that these are the different layers of atmosphere, and the real position of the stars is the bigger star which you can see on the left screen, on the left diagram. But when the boy looks at the in the sky, he finds or he imagines that the position of the star is the smaller one, which is the virtual image of the star. So that is happening because of the refraction of light. I hope you have understood. Now let's see. The pole star does not appear to move. So we are saying that stars appear like they are moving from east direction to west direction. Let us understand this also. We are saying that the earth is rotating on its axis every moment from west to east direction, isn't it? So when, suppose for example, if there is a girl who is on the earth at that position which I have shown on the earth diagram, suppose, and we are saying that the earth is rotating from west to east direction. It means, suppose if she is moving with the earth at this position, what she is going to imagine or what she is going to feel? She is going to feel that all the stars that she is able to see in the night sky, they are actually moving in east to west direction. Why she is able to feel it? Because the earth is rotating, her position is getting changed. You can understand this concept also with the help of the example of a train. When we are moving in a train, moving train, running train, and when we are actually observing from the window very minutely, very concentrically, you will understand, you will feel that the trees are moving in the backward direction, but that is not the real scenario. The trees are there. Similarly, the stars are at their position just because the position of the girl is changing because of the rotation of the earth. She is feeling that the stars are moving in, or you can say revolving in east to west direction. I hope it is clear. Now let's move ahead. we are saying, what do we mean by constellations? We are saying that there are millions of stars in the sky, in the space. So a group of stars which form a definite pattern will be called as a constellation. So suppose, for example, if 5 stars are making a pattern of, suppose, a star, or maybe 5 stars are making a pattern of a pentagon, that is a shape with 5 sides, then we will say that it is a constellation of 5 stars, and we will give a name according to the shape that it is making. So if it is making a shape of pentagon, or maybe a shape of your rectangle or whatever, then we are going to name that constellation according to the shape that it is forming. Okay, so that is what is written in the second point: recognized by their shapes they form. Now let's see the examples. Examples of constellation, very famous, very popular one is your Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, Scorpius. There are so many. Saptarishi is also a constellation which is actually a part of a bigger constellation that we call it by the name Ursa Major. Now let us see Saptarishi. The term itself is having two words. Shapta means 7 and Rishi means sages. That is the, you can say, priest. So it is a term which has been derived from by the Hindu mythology. Now let's see, we are saying that Saptarishi. Now again, this diagram. This diagram is actually of Ursa Major. You can see there are various stars which is making a pattern of a great bear or a big bear, which we call it by the name Ursa Major constellation. Here there are 7 stars whose combination is called as by the name Saptarishi. Now let us see it through animation. There are 7 stars which I have drawn it right now, isn't it? And the ones with the 2 which are getting highlighted, which are a little bit bigger in size, these are called as your pointers. Why? Because they are always pointing to a star which is your north star, or that is your pole star. Why pole star? Because it is lying to the north and exactly overhead to the north pole of our earth. And these 2 stars, these 2 pointer stars of Saptarishi is actually always denoting to the north star or the pole star. I hope it is clear. Now let's see. So we can say that Saptarishi is actually a part of a bigger constellation, that is your Ursa Major, or you can also say the Great Bear, or you can also say the Big Bear. These are the alternative names of our Ursa Major constellation. Okay, now moving ahead. So these are the 7, all these yellow stars are actually a combination of 7 stars which we call it as Saptarishi, a part of Ursa Major. And the first 2, that is the pointers one, which point to the pole star or the north star, which used to help, and rather it has been helping some rural people till now also, to know the north direction during the night. So that is the importance of the north star, and that is the importance of these 2 pointers of our Saptarishi. Okay, moving ahead, just a fun fact, we can say that the fastest star which has been recorded is your XTE Z1 739285. Its rotation time, every star is rotating on its axis, you can say, and the rotation time or the spinning time of this fastest star is around 1122 times per second. That is very fast. Okay, so with this I am ending up this module. We'll be coming up with some other topics very soon. So take care and go through the content. Bye everyone.